I can imagine Rishi is not the happiest guy at the moment. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's Conservative British government has failed in its plans to stimulate the construction of new houses by relaxing environmental regulations. The House of Lords in London rejected a corresponding amendment to the law on Wednesday evening. Because the project was only subsequently added to law, the House of Lords decision can no longer be reversed by the House of Commons. The government, of course, has a majority there. But Conservative commentators expressed disappointment and accused the opposition of disregarding the interests of the population. The government wanted to remove environmental regulations from the time of EU membership and thus enable the construction of up to 100,000 apartments by 2030. I made a video on that time. Environmentalists reacted outraged to the plans, and following the rejection in the House of Lords, new building in communities where protected areas are located must now continue to be nutrient neutral. Building owners must prove that they do not allow environmentally harmful phosphates and nitrates to enter nearby bodies of water. But that was just one point, because Rishi Sunak has so far shown no luck in the crisis, not even with the cost of living crisis. In the fight against an epidemic of shoplifting in Britain, major retailers want to fund police work because the government doesn't do it. The supermarket chain Sainsbury's, Tesco and Waitrose, as well as the department store operator John Lewis, are among the 10 companies that have provided the investigators with a total of £600,000. In return, the authority should compare recording of thieves on surveillance cameras with their databases and also use facial recognition software. Shoplifting in Great Britain has more than doubled in the past 6 years to 8 million in 22, according to estimates from the trade association BRC. The annual damage is around £1 billion, and the reason given are the significantly increased cost of living and imitators via viral videos on TikTok. Perpetrators are often young people. The companies accuse the police of not taking shoplifting seriously enough. Of around 340,000 cases reported between April 22 and March 23, fewer than 50,000 were charged. In just over half of the cases, the investigations were stopped without the perpetrators being identified. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak called the development unacceptable. Yeah, that's not enough. But to be honest, shoplifting has also increased significantly here in Germany recently. But this is probably due to the ended corona rules, as the German trade association HDE said. During the lockdowns and in times of less customer traffic, shoplifters would have had a much harder time. However, there is no evidence for the sometimes suspected connection between rising prices due to inflation and an increase in shoplifting here in Germany. But in Germany too, many crimes are not even reported because there are often no major consequences for shoplifters. The deputy chairman of the police union, Alexander Poit, said that given the clearance rate of 89%, one could not speak of an epidemic of shoplifting in Germany as it is in Britain. That's what I'm saying. Nevertheless, this development should be counteracted by shop owners, particularly with preventive measures such as electronic security technology. And we have a lot of security here as well, even in supermarkets. But Sunak became Britain's Prime Minister with a simple mission: to sort out the mess left behind by Johnson, who left office last September in a sea of scandal, and his successor Truss, I even have to mention her, whose surreal 49 days in power made her the shortest serving PM in British history. And nobody had a clear idea of what exactly Sunak wanted to do with the country. So in January, Sunak set out 5 priorities for his government with mixed results. His 3 economic promises to halve inflation, cut debt, and grow the economy appeared achievable at the time and look likely to be met if they take it seriously. But the pledge to cut England's hospital waiting lists had not been delivered. The number waiting for treatment has risen from 7.2 million when he first made the promise to a record 7.6 million. And meanwhile, there has been little progress on this bold promise to stop the boats carrying migrants across the English Channel. A plan to send asylum seekers to Rwanda is held up in the courts. So there's not really much that Sunak achieved so far. And if you want to know what's going on in the EU and the UK or with Brexit, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.